Hi, babes. Welcome back to the Chase Life with Kelly show. I'm your host, Kelly Chase. We are diving into part three of our Love is Blind Untold Stories series. And excuse me if I have a raspy voice. I have a raspy voice. Just tired or coming down with something. I don't know. There was a part of me that did not want to, that was going to like record this episode another day, but I was like, nope, let's just get it done. I may be going out of town this weekend. So yeah, I was like, let me just knock it out. And I just got done being a guest on someone else's podcast. And so whenever I am in my flow, I feel like I need to stay in my flow. So we were having conversations around my love life, dating and relationships and everything. And super, super helpful, great conversations. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it because I'm already here. So let's, I know I kind of teased on part two episode about, moments or scenes which I may have felt that they portrayed me unfairly, or was there anything Netflix showed which you thought was inaccurate or incomplete? Before I get there, let me dive into this because I feel like this is just a fun fact, more or less, versus a question, because obviously, why would you guys have these questions or have this question? So, did you know any of the guys before the show? I don't feel like anyone, or maybe only one or two people whose podcasts I have been on in the past have asked this question. So I wanted to highlight it because I think it's kind of cool. There were a couple of men that I actually knew before the show. And I say that not like we knew that we were going to do the show together. I say that because when we were dating in the pods, they said certain things. And I was like, wait a second, I think I know this guy. Like, I feel like I've met him before. So there was a guy named Matt Thomas. He did not connect. I mean, he connected with people, but he did not get engaged. Did not proceed forward in that regard. But he was one of the guys that went on one of the dates within the pods, and he had and I'll plug this. I don't think he's doing this event anymore, but it was called Brawl for a Cause. And anyways, he started talking about Brawl for a Cause. And I was like, wait a second, is your last name Thomas? I was like, is this Matt Thomas? And he goes, yeah. And I go, dude, I like volunteered at Brawl for a Cause. Like, I know you. And then I was like, my name's Kelly Chase. And I don't know if he actually, because I mean, I like volunteered like through his team, I guess. I don't know if he like remembered exactly like who I was. I can't remember that. But I just remember that I knew him, and he was like, oh my God, that's so wild. Well, thanks for volunteering. Thanks for supporting the cause and everything. But essentially we did not have a connection. So obviously that's why we didn't continue on. But that was interesting. And then Mark, Mark Cuevas, he actually was another one. So, and a couple of things. So I'm stumbling on my words because I'm like, how do I position this? But so Mark had been an Orange Theory instructor. And so when we were talking about like what we did for work, that was something that came up. He's like, Mark, I'm an Orange Theory instructor in Buckhead. And I was like, wait a second. I don't know if I had taken one of his classes before at Orange Theory, but I had definitely done like a health and wellness event like outside of Orange Theory, and he was there at this health and wellness event. And I was like, wait, but I didn't say anything. I don't know why I didn't say anything for this one, but I didn't. And maybe because I actually was connecting with Mark. Not as much as obviously the other ones, but we had really good conversation. But why I did not, I think, write down that I was connecting with Mark that much, because I was like, I know him outside. Like, I've actually met him before. And although I didn't know him, I had never had these types of conversations with him before. We'd probably just said like, hey, yeah, we're in the health industry, whatever. But I, I think there was a bachelor or bachelorette season where there was someone where the guy was on the show and the girl was like the bachelor, yeah, it was the bachelorette. So the bachelorette said something like we've met before. And apparently they had met or they had gone on a date before or something like that. And she was kind of irritated at the fact that he was there like dating her, and she's like, we had an opportunity like now, like, so she just felt like he was there for the wrong reasons. And that was like a part in my brain that came up that was like, okay, well, like I had my chance before the pods to like maybe see if something could work with Mark, and I wasn't attracted in that way. So like I'm not gonna just connect with him. I don't know. Does that make sense? But essentially my connections with, Damian, Wesley, and Kenny were obviously stronger. So that's where that was. But anyway, but yeah, so I knew Mark before, and then I had heard of Wesley's name. I think he was another one that I may have, no, I didn't, I don't know if I knew that that was him or not. Because I didn't know much about him. No, you're right. I don't think I did. But when in hindsight, like when we had reveals and everything, then I was like, oh, that's the guy. Like, because I think I had like maybe someone had shown me a picture of him before or something, but we had actually never met. But I didn't know of him. So just fun facts. There you go. That was long-winded, but there you go. Okay, so let's dive into this. Okay, were there any moments? Ooh, we're gonna run through this one as fast as possible. Because I don't know how much longer my voice can go. Were there any moments or scenes which you felt portrayed you unfairly? Was there anything Netflix showed which you thought was inaccurate or incomplete? Yes. Felt portrayed you unfairly was obviously me saying no at the altar and them not showing Kenny saying no at the altar. That would be the biggest thing. Because that definitely, like, yes, I said no, but he also said no. And so therefore I was portrayed that I was the bad guy. I was the one who made it all the way down the aisle and said no and broke a man's heart. That's how it was portrayed, right? So that is the biggest thing. There were also, I think the way that they created the story was that I was still not over my ex-boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend who, gave my information to Married at First Sight, kinetic content or kinetic casting, and then they reached out to me to get me on this show, like that boyfriend, or that ex-boyfriend. They kept painting it like I was still in love with him and obsessed. And I'm like, dude, that was like 10 years ago. Like it was so long ago. I was not, definitely not. Or that they kept painting me that, oh, I'm only attracted to brunettes. And I'm like, okay, my first boyfriend that I was with for 2 years was blonde, first of all. Thank you very much. But they just kept highlighting things like that. And yeah, so it was that there were certain conversations, of course, that were had where I'm like, oh my God, like I wish that they had maybe elaborated on certain things or shown a little bit more. Which I guess that goes into my next question. But I think that was like the biggest thing was that right there was that I was the one who said no. Was there anything the producers did not show which you wish they would have shown? Yes. Couple of things. So our cake tasting and dance lessons, that was like an entire day that was cut from filming. Like I was like, did they even show any of that? Like maybe they did and I missed it. I don't know, but and again, maybe they did. Maybe I did miss that because I was like fast forwarding so much through certain things. So maybe they did show that, but I don't recall it. But it was so fun. We obviously were tasting all the cakes, and then we had like a dance off. Like the girls got on one side, the guys got on another side, and we were just cruising, like doing our thing. I did the worm, of course, and I feel like I killed it. Me and Kenny both did like something like really just fun and unique, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah." It was good. It was so much fun. We had such a blast. And then another thing that they did not show that I really wish that they had. And I would say that maybe this goes back to the second part of that initial question of, was there anything Netflix showed which you thought was inaccurate or incomplete? There was a scene that Kenny and I were laying in bed and like, turned towards each other, having this very in-depth conversation. And I was talking about, well, the way that they portrayed it was that it was just me being gentle about talking about the fact that I did not want to have sex yet with him. But what was inaccurate or incomplete about that is the reason why I did not. And that's where I wish that they would have shown, because I feel like they missed their mark on a couple of things. One, I had made a commitment to myself that I would not sleep with someone for 3 months. I told you guys, like I was on this, I started this self-love journey at the beginning of, or the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. And we filmed in 2018, later on in October. And I was just like, I made a commitment to myself that I'm not going to sleep with someone until after 3 months of dating. And I'm like, I just met Kenny. Like, I just met him. Like, why would I, like, no, like I can't sleep with him. So that was part of it. Second thing was that, and I know y'all who have been listening to my podcast for a while now know that I had a traumatic experience in college, and it wound up being like, basically what I was saying to Kenny was like, I did this whole self-love journey and I put boundaries in place to, increase my self-love and my self-worth. But a lot of this, and I stated that I had never had an orgasm through sex. Okay. So, and I said, I think a lot of that has to deal with this trauma that happened during college, where I felt like I had to perform some type of sexual act or sexual, behavior in order to get out of what I felt was like a threatening situation. And so I think I alluded certain things about intimacy to this trauma. And therefore I was like, I think that may be why, because like I feel like my body is not letting me be so vulnerable and actually have the climax, because it doesn't feel safe. And if it doesn't feel safe, and emotionally held and seen and all of that by my person, and like I just met you. So like I don't feel like I do feel safe. Like I feel like you're a good person, but like just I wasn't there yet, right? And so anyways, I just feel like they missed their mark talking about like sexual trauma and how that can affect a woman later on in her life. So that was like the biggest thing that I wish that they had shown, because I talked about it. Like Kenny, like he like touched my hand and he was like, are you sure you want to talk about this? And I said, yes, like I think it will be really helpful. And even if it never gets aired and it's just for the cameraman and the camera crew right now, like it's helpful for me to talk about it, because it's healing. It's healing for me to when I talk about these things. So, but I do wish that they had shown that. Have you kept in touch with Kenny since the show ended? Not really. We are still Facebook friends. Neither of us follow each other on Instagram. And honestly, I think that was more, I think he unfollowed me first, and then later on, maybe like 2 years ago, I unfollowed him. Simply, I think it was more or less because I was like going through these relationship programs, and they were like, kind of like cutting the cords and cutting the ties with people that you have had a romantic past with. And we did have a romantic past. So although it was short-lived, it was still very intense and intimate. And so I think that's why, like, I was like, I don't need to see him married and, with it, like, and it's not that it bothers me. It's just like our subconscious and the way our body holds memory. It just, like, why do that, right? So that was a part of it. And yeah, so I was just like, it's fine. Like, we're Facebook friends, it's cool. Certain things may have come up, and I've like texted him over the years, I think. To say like congratulations about, or not texted him, but I did text him recently when they made their baby announcement that they were expecting. So I did. It was like, congratulations. Like, I hope you and your family, your mom, dad, sisters are all doing well. I wish nothing but the best for him. He really is a good man, and I love that he, found his person. And when he found her, like she seems amazing. I mean, I've had some dialogue with her when we did like the, after the altar series, and she was very lovely. So, yeah. But yeah, and he responded, thank you and all of that. And I'll comment on his post every once in a while. Again, I'm not following him, but some people like share some things, oh, he got married or oh, like he's moving. I don't know. And I'll see it, or maybe I'll like, maybe I think maybe Alex's or Kenny's stuff has come up in my like for you, like my search or like my for you page, and I'll just see it, and so I'll click on it. I'm curious. Like I'm curious. I'm still interested. I'm still, I'm a human. But yeah, and I'm just super happy for them. So no, I don't keep in touch with him, but like I guess I do in a sense. But yeah, and it's funny. I have like mutual friends with him too, because he lives in Charlotte, and I have a really good friend that lives in Charlotte. So it's kind of funny. Okay. Do you have any thoughts on the fact that Kenny is now married and expecting a baby with his wife later into 2025? No, like, I mean, honestly, I mean, my only thought is like, I just wish them so well. Like, they seem so happy together, and I'm so happy for them. I really am. Like, he's a great person. She seems like an incredible girl, and I'm just so happy. Like, there's no any other type of thought than that. Have you kept in touch with any of your fellow cast members since the show ended? Yes, of course. Um, I mean, Elsie, so Lauren Chamberlain, definitely. She still lives here in Georgia, and I haven't seen her in a while, but we, respond to each other's Instagram stories. We'll text here and there. And then, yeah, we've definitely hung out a handful of times over the years. Jessica Batten, I'm still very good friends with. If you didn't know, Jessica and I did know each other before the show. We didn't know that we were doing the show, and so we both wound up on set together. But mutual friends here in Atlanta. We met through, 2009 or 10. And yeah, we've just known each other and been friends since, and she's a lovely person. So of course, whenever I go to California, I try to make a point to see her and spend time with her. I have not seen her in a couple years now because I haven't been out to California really, or long enough to be able to see her. But yeah, her, Giannina, I do keep in touch with. If I ever go to Colorado, I do reach out to see, try and see her, and obviously Blake now. And hopefully I get to go out there. Well, I will, I guess in September, I'm going to go into Denver. I don't know how long I'll be there though, but I hope that they're home so that I can go see that precious baby. Oh my God, he's so cute. But yeah, we don't like text much, but every once in a while we will, or, respond to her Instagram story, that kind of thing. And when she comes to Atlanta to visit, I think it was like a year or so ago, she came here for her birthday, and Blake had a show also. So killed two birds with one stone. We celebrated her birthday, did a whole dinner, and it was just really nice catching up with her and getting some one-on-one time with her. So that was good. Let's see. Ebony is another one. Lexi. I keep in touch with them. I don't like see them very often, but I'll keep in touch. Definitely follow them. Diamond, here and there. And I don't know. I don't see her frequently either, but I'm always cheering people on. Lauren and Cameron, I feel like I don't necessarily we don't hang out, but whenever I feel like there's like influencer events and we're all invited. And with those, then I saw them. So maybe last year sometime, I took my dad to this event and they were there. And so it was really nice. And it was so cute. My dad said to them, like, I seen you on TV. Like he's just a little jokester. And he's like, I've seen you. I know you from TV. And they turned around and they were like, I know you from TV. Because obviously my dad was on TV too, with me walking me down the aisle and stuff. So it was super cute. But yeah, let's see who else. I mean, Wesley and I follow each other on social media. I haven't seen him in a long time. Damien and I always feel like I run into Damien out and about. I don't even know where he lives. He's in California sometimes, he's in Charleston sometimes, he's here sometimes. I have no idea. But yeah, we run into each other. Probably say I probably see Damien more than I see a lot of people. Just out and about. I like to be a social butterfly, so and he's friends with the girls that do the Atlanta Swim Week as well. So he tries to support them and attend those events too. So that's cool. I don't know. I feel like there's more people, and I'm sorry if I'm missing someone that I shouldn't be missing, but that's it for the most part. Have you kept in touch with any of, oh, I just read that one. Which cast member did you like the most? Okay, I'm probably not going to really dive too much into like who I liked the most and who I did not like the most. But everyone had their own thing about them. I mean, obviously I love Jess because I've known her for so long. And, I just think she's she's a smart girl. She's a good person. She's fun. She's nice. She's kind. She's compassionate. I love her. I love LC. I think LC is I love her authenticity. I love how she stands up for, certain rights, political rights and just advocating for women and advocating for different races, ethnicities, cultures, all of that. I think that is a very profound. And I feel like she has definitely attracted her community of people online because of how she does that. It's cool. It's really neat. And Giannina, I love, although I don't see her very often or talk to her very much, she really is a neat person. I feel like we were very much in alignment when we were filming the show. I mean, she like literally asked me if she could read one of the books that I had. It was called Mindset by Carol Sedgwick. I think that's her last name. And Giannina, it was so cute. I like thought she was just gonna like read it, and she was like actually like writing notes. Like she was reading it, but she was also like making notes and like writing things inside the book. And I was like, oh, never mind. Like I don't need that back. You can have it. But yeah, it was just super. She's just really. I always described her as this like whimsical fairy. She was just very light and also, yeah, of course, sassy in certain ways, but you could tell that she was very observant and she could see different perspectives, and I admired that because I was on that same similar journey. So I just really appreciated that. Which cast member did I like the least? I don't know. I mean, I feel like there may have been people that maybe I just didn't vibe with as much, but I can't say that I didn't like them. I feel like I like a lot of people, and we just weren't on the same frequency, right? Like that was it. Like I just, your vibe is your tribe, and I just like don't necessarily feel like we were vibing. And so there were some people, I won't name names, but there were a couple people, and that's okay. After the show ended, did you get negative comments on social media? 100%. I got a lot of negative comments on social media. Granted, I got a lot of positive ones too, but we're human and we look at those negative comments more than anything. Just one out of a sea of 1,000, you can pick out the negative one. What are some examples? Let's see, like how dare it wasn't. I'm like, how dare you? How dare you lead him on like that? You're gonna die alone, like you're a fucking bitch. You are, I don't know, like I have those were probably the worst ones. They're not even that worse. They're like not even that bad. But at the time, when you're getting tens or hundreds of those types of messages, it affects your psyche and your emotional self so much. It hurts. It's very painful. It's like the world, it's like those people were rejecting you. And when you were an extreme people pleaser or a recovering people pleaser, it's like, oh my God, no, I just need to explain everything and tell them what happened and all of that. And it's like, you can't explain it to everybody who watched the show. There's 30 million people that watch that show. Like, I can't go back and be like, oh my God, but does it live rent free in my head that, Justin Bieber and Chrissy Teigen and all of these celebrities who I look up to and admire watch the show, Drew Barrymore, all these people watch the show, and they probably are thinking, this girl broke this man's heart at the altar. Like, oh my God. So the more I can get my story out there, the better. Sorry, my throat is cracking now. I'm almost done. Like, we got to wrap this up. But yeah, I got not like Jessica. Jessica definitely got very hateful messages. I think everyone got hateful messages, someone tearing you apart on your looks to degrading you just as a human. Everyone got bad, negative comments. I think, literally I would see like the knife emoji, like like you're gonna fucking die, like, or die bitch die, things like that. You're gonna die alone. I can't like yeah, they would just say like rude, just very rude things. Or he dodged a bullet. I think that is the most like insulting thing someone can say. Like they dodged a bullet. I'm like, no, like people go through their own life experiences, and just because it didn't work out with someone, it doesn't mean that I dodged a bullet. Like I really don't think that I have ever said that. And maybe my friends have said that to me regarding a guy that I've dated or hooked up with or whatever. But like, I've never been in a situation where I've been like, oh my God, guy, you like fucking dodged a bullet not dating that guy. I've never, like, because they're on their own journey. Like, of course, like hurt people hurt people. Like, why am I gonna hurt someone by saying that? It's just rude. It's disrespectful and it's rude, and I don't like it. So no. Mm-mm. Um, if you had any insecurities, particularly as to your looks, did going on the show help resolve those insecurities or exacerbate them? A little bit of both, I think. I feel like I said this earlier on, but or in maybe like part one, I was not where I wanted to be as far as like my body image. My weight, I still felt like I had like 10, 12 pounds to lose to get back to my normal self. Because as you guys know, I had gained a bunch of weight, 2015, and it just had not fallen, like all of it had just not fallen off yet. So I just didn't feel great going into the show. I was borrowing clothes from people, not just to go on the show, but just in real life. Like, hey, I had a girls' night out or a birthday or a trip or something, and I would borrow clothes because I was like, I don't have the budget or the money mindset to like go buy new clothes for myself. It was just like not a good time. And so with that being said, obviously in 2018, I definitely didn't have the budget because I didn't have a job. I mean, I wasn't working. Well, I say that I was working for someone. I was with the all audio-based fitness app, but it was pretty much like paycheck to paycheck in a sense. Like the way that I was living my life at the time, it was covering my bills and maybe giving me a little bit of extra spending money. Otherwise, I was coaching clients, and that's how I was able to get more, income. But I still was not in a place to like spend a lot of money and especially go buy a new wardrobe and all of that. So I didn't. So yeah, and I had a lot of breakouts going on. I probably am gonna talk about this. I should do this, create a reel on this one, the untold stories of what was going on behind the scenes. With because you can see some of the scarring or it wasn't just like acne, but just like adult blemishes, I guess. And it just felt so, I was very insecure about it, and I didn't know how to like really do makeup for cameras. So it was hard to cover that stuff up. Um, so yeah, like my weights I didn't love. My face, my skin was just not good. So yeah, I did. Resolving the issues, yeah. I would say as far as, well, it going on the show exacerbated them because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be on camera and blah, blah, blah. But like, did going on the show help resolve those issues? Yes, because I did lose the weight because I started working, like started eating regularly again. I started working with mindset and relationship coaches, and that was like helping to, reprogram my subconscious mind around a lot of limiting beliefs and stories and fears and things that were going on inside of me. Shed a lot of stress and emotional trauma and baggage that I was holding on to. Working with different, different integrative nutritional, like integrative functional medicine doctors that were helping with my gut and my hormones and all of that. So yeah, I started to resolve those issues. And yeah, I will have some issues from time to time. I mean, I get blemishes. I still have some hirsutism going on, which is like coarse hair growth. For me, it's on my chin. Luckily, that's really the only place that it grows. But it's so annoying and definitely embarrassing. So I have to pluck still in that regard. But yeah, I think those were the biggest things though. But I figured it out, and I'm okay. Did you become wealthy as the result of having been on Love is Blind? Great question. We can all say, like, what does wealth mean to us? I think that's the biggest thing. When I think of wealth, I think of people that are like multimillionaires or at least a millionaire. And I know I'm not that, and I haven't been that. I have never made $1 million. But I have I have transformed my mindset around money and success and wealth and all of that. So yes, I'm wealthy in certain ways, more wealthy than other people. And I feel like I'm successful in a lot of ways too. So yes, it did make me wealthy. But the definition of wealth that maybe some of us think about, I mean, like Giannina wealth, no, I'm not that. She definitely has done very well for herself, and I'm so proud of her. But that's okay. If I could do something differently in that regard, when I started getting brand deals, I wish that I had saved the money, put it in investments versus paying off my debt. Because literally that's what I did. I used that money to pay off debt. And I saved 30% of it for taxes, which luckily, thank God, when I left one of my corporate jobs, I did not owe those taxes. And so I had like $20,000 just like chilling. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I can like float for a little while before I have to get another job or really go heavy on my business and with the coaching and everything. But yeah, I definitely wish that I had saved that money and put it in investments, versus paying off my debt with the other percentage of it. Because, literally all the debt that I had was all from good investments anyways. It wasn't like I was frivolously just like spending my money on alcohol and food and going out and partying and purses and clothing and all this stuff. It wasn't like I was investing in all these coaches and integrative functional medicine doctors and programs and courses and things like that. And so I'm like, okay, like now in hindsight, looking back, because I have learned more about my money mindset and my definition of success and about good investments and poor investments and good debt and bad debt. Like, I just wish that I had done it a little bit differently, but it doesn't matter. Here we are. I'm fine. I'm thriving. I'm good. I do think that one day I will be like what I quote unquote call Giannina rich, that I will be wealthy like that one day. But I'm very wealthy. I'm very happy. I'm content. I'm joyful. I can spend money on certain things. And I do money stack. I do feel like I manage my money pretty well. I have money dates every the 15th or the 10th and 25th or 15th and 30th. I have little money dates, and then I transfer money over where it needs to go. I always, whenever I get paid, I pay myself first. That is the biggest key. Ladies, listen, pay yourself first before you do anything else. Don't pay your bills. Literally pay yourself first. Even if it is 2% of your paycheck, pay yourself first. That is how you money stack. And that's what I call it. I call it money stacking. You stack your money and you try not to actually tap into that. But when you have to make a good investment, a healthy investment, or do something, with your money or an emergency fund, like that's what that's for. But otherwise, it's money stacking to create the wealth that you're looking to create. So yeah. Last question, would I ever go on another reality show? Yes, I would actually love to go on a game show, like Wheel of Fortune. Put me on it all day. Price is Right. I really love Wheel of Fortune. I think it's super fun, but a challenge game, I think I'd be open to doing that. I feel like I'm getting my strength back, doing the yoga, the strength training and all that. And plus, like doing things like that, it really pushes you and empowers you and challenges you to get uncomfortable and be the best version of yourself. So I would definitely love to do that. If it's another dating show, totally, let's do it. I think it'd be fun. Why not? It's just something without a wedding at the end. I think that'd be great. But anyways, I have absolutely loved doing this series with you guys. Feel free to DM me on Instagram if you have questions about anything, if you want me to dive deeper into any kind of topic, or if you want me to create content, like reels or videos or whatever, or like carousels around anything to dive and explore further, maybe around money mindset, whatever. I'm happy to do those things. Like, I want to hear from you guys. Y'all are my community. I show up for y'all every single week, and I would love to hear from you. If you resonate with something, if you resonate with a guest, if you resonate with something that I say, anything like that, like, I definitely just want to hear from you, and I want to pour love into you. So yes. And also, I just want a little plug here. I do have a program. It is called Goddess Magic. It is essentially a program that is going to transform how you think about success, love, and money. So it is reprogramming your subconscious mind. And as you start to uncover the limiting beliefs, stories, and fears around love, success, and money, and start to rewrite your story around those and reprogram your subconscious mind, your whole life will shift. Like, you will start attracting more like different opportunities into your life romantically, the quality of people that are coming into your life, the quality of opportunities. You may get this channel or download to start a business, launch a business, or pursue a career that you didn't think. Like, it just changes your neural pathways. And my whole thing is chasing life with Kelly, right? Like, chase life, guys. Go after your dreams, go after your goals. But if you are very close-minded and you're stuck and you feel stuck because you're not doing this inner work, you're not reprogramming the subconscious mind, you're not changing the emotion in the body and the frequency and the vibration in the body and doing somatic work, like, you're doing a disservice to yourself and all of those around you. Like, it's time to level up. It's time to peel back the layers, and it's time to freaking fly and chase life with magic and chase life with Kelly and really awaken the goddess within you. And I know that every single one of you has this magic inside of you to be able to see things differently, feel things differently, be different in your life, in this life here on this planet. Like, there's so much waiting for you. And I hope that you will take 2 minutes of your time, check out the link in the show notes for Goddess Magic, or on my Instagram bio. Check out Goddess Magic and make that investment in yourself. Make an investment in yourself, and I swear in 6 months, your life will be completely different. All right, guys. If you love today's episode, share it, write a review, download, follow the show, do all the things, please. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will have a guest coming up next week, and a few guests coming up, actually. And I'm so excited for you to get to know them, their story, and everything that they're up to. So anyways, thank you all so much for being such a great supporters of Love is Blind. Netflix appreciates you. Kinetic appreciates you. Love is Blind appreciates you. All of the cast from Love is Blind, past and present, we all appreciate your love and support. So thank you for continuing to support the show and support us, even if you don't watch the show anymore. So love y'all. And stay tuned to next time. Chase Life with Kelly. Bye, guys.